Hi, Sona, can you hear me?
Hi.
How are
Am I
you?
late? Am I on time? I'm just.
No, you're fine, you're fine. How are you?
I'm good. I am finally in a network zone. We've been struggling with network. It rained all of last night.
Oh, oh, oh,
So,
oh.
yeah, and I'm in Goa.
Oh, I was just
So, the
gonna say,
first thing that
whereabouts are
happens is.
you?
Sorry?
I was just gonna ask you, whereabouts are you?
I'm in Goa, and unlike most other people, I've been traveling like a nutter through the COVID pandemic because I have
I don't, I don't know
wheels
if
on
that's
my
good or
feet
bad.
apart. I think it's good because it sends out the message that we need to, with caution, get back to the new normal. We had a
Absolutely.
ridiculous, complete shutdown, at least in India. I mean, I'm in touch with some of
Yeah.
my friends in London, and they say it's not been that severe there.
Yep. Yeah,
People
yeah, yeah,
have
yeah,
been
yeah.
exercising free will, so to say, much
Yes,
more
yes,
so. But
yes,
here it was a
yes.
complete crazy shutdown. And
Yeah.
as a gigging musician, I'm used to traveling. I mean, I'm on my concerts for 20 days in a month. So I'm just not used to being at home. I'm all the time with my
Exactly.
band on the road. So for me, it was a particularly traumatic time, if I might say so.
I'm
Can you
sure,
hear
I'm
me
sure.
clearly?
But absolutely, it's super clear. It's really good. Yes, yes. So where have you been traveling through the pandemic? Like, and how's it been traveling?
Um, I went to Hyderabad, which is a city in South India. So
Yep,
all
yep,
international travel has been
yeah,
cancelled.
yeah, yeah.
India isn't receiving or sending off flights unless you are I think, a national from somewhere else. I mean, you hold a passport that is from outside. I was in
Hmm.
fact wanting to come for the screening at the BFI South Bank
Oh,
because at a time just before the lockdown started, we took all this for granted, right? We
we
always
did?
thought, so I was acting picky and choosy about which festival to attend because I'd gone to Rotterdam for the IFFR,
Yeah.
then I'd gone to Sweden where we were selected for the Gothenburg Festival. And then Hot Dogs Canada came up, and I was like, okay, now too many, and which one should I go to and which one should I drop? Because I had most festivals requesting me to perform,
Mm,
so I
mm.
thought I will get a bit pricey about not being so available. But now I was like so desperate. I was like,
Please, I want to travel. I
please.
will go to every single festival possible.
Yes, because overnight we realized what we took for granted could just
Absolutely,
go
yeah,
away any moment.
yeah. No, for sure.
So yeah, it's been crazy, but I think a beautiful time from a creative perspective for me. Also,
Uh-huh.
I hope it's a time for the whole world to have taken a breather and rethink how things
Yeah, yeah. That is definitely there.
should be in the coming days, where
No,
we can all play a
absolutely.
better. Yeah.
I know. And especially as a creative artist, you said, you've like, it's completely like tortured you, this whole pandemic thing, because you guys are used to such big crowds and so many people and, things like that. But I can just imagine how
Yeah.
you guys are feeling. It's not very nice.
No,
Um,
it's absolutely. I have a band of, there are 14 of us who travel.
mm, mm.
Of course, with my crew and my light and my sound and my makeup and hair and all of the shingdang. But
Mm.
that's a huge team that used to count on this for their living.
Yeah, yeah.
And so there has been no work for the artist community for, I think, over 6 months now.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
unlike what we hear in the other parts of the world, and it's understandable because I have nots are so many in India, there
Mm.
is no package, there is nobody who cares if all the artists were to commit suicide and die, honestly.
Yeah,
Because there
yeah,
is
yeah.
no understanding of, I mean, there is no cultural package or there is no particular plan in place for,
There's no help as such.
yeah, there is no
There's no
help.
help for
And there have been
recovery.
some very troubling stories coming in.
Yeah.
Some musicians have, you know, because musicians are also not the type who will ask for help. So what we've been trying
Mm,
to do, a few of us are much more privileged. Of course, we've gotten a lot of love in the mainstream, and in a
yeah.
sense, uh, yeah, we are more privileged. We have more. So we've been trying to collect funds and do some fundraisers for the artist
Mm,
community, and
mm-hmm.
try and send across these packages to people around, and particularly to the folk artists, because India has this ridiculously vast and absolutely brilliant folk heritage, which is the oral tradition. So we have these men and women who carry millennia of culture and music within them. It's not written anywhere. It's not archived. It's not. And a lot of our Bollywood big hits actually take their sources from this music and these musicians. Sad part is very rarely do they give these musicians credit. Or,
very true.
Share
very
the
true.
spoils, so to say. So I've been doing a couple of things with Ram, who's my partner, to raise funds for the folk musicians.
That's lovely.
Few places. So it's been a crazy time, but right now I'm just so happy that BFI is hosting us and actually having a screening in a theater.
I know, same here. I was so happy when I heard. I was like, what, this is actually happening? We can go and see this?
So I really hope you do, because I could always send you a private link. But the one thing we noticed in all the screenings that the film had, be it in Mumbai or in the other festivals, that a community screening was so different because of the way we would almost feel like on cue people were laughing or they were giggling and they would be weeping, and there was such a extreme set of emotions during the film, which honestly I'm too close to it. I'm the protagonist in the film, so I never expected anything. I was like, okay, we did something, we took this journey, and at a time when I thought all the doors were shutting down on me, and I was I want to sing more. I want my voice to be heard, not only as a musician, but in terms of what I want to say, because things do seem lopsided when it comes to being a female artist in this country. And I might be jumping the gun here. The number of people who advise me, don't ever tell anyone that you produce the film, because India has this, I'm sorry to say, sometimes this fake sense of, there's a hypocrisy here, saying that if you were to admit that you produced your own film, you are in somehow telling people that how vain are you that you made a film about yourself? And why would anybody produce a film about themselves? And I'm like, you know what? You haven't watched the film. It's not that
but
kind of film.
It's not even about what kind of film it is. You produce it. That's something that you should be proud of. That's like a really big achievement, because not a lot of people can.
What I was told, don't put it on the poster because Indians will think you to be this arrogant woman who is producing her own film and has, and one second, the first scoop up. So I was like, I'm the first artist to do so, and I'm going to stake claim to the fact that I considered my journey worthy to capture on film.
Absolutely.
And the second thing was how many such films are being made, or in any case, who the hell is going to produce it for me? And it so happened that in the middle of the creation of the film, even the Me Too movement came out and across the world. And I was like, here's the thing. In the West, in the US, the Me Too movement was much more successful than in India, because you had women who were entrenched in the trenches. You have writers, you have producers. The industry there right now can't do without women. Whereas in India, we still end up being the pretty faces, waiting for somebody else to do us this favor of either casting us or giving us a song or making a song for us or giving us an opportunity. And I was like, to hell with this. Waiting for this opportunity. They are too far and few between. I need to take charge of my own narrative. I need to tell my story. And I also feel immense pride in the country's, the length and breadth of the cultural variation. The musical roots are so rich. It doesn't, it doesn't get captured in, say, the typical documentaries that come out from India. A lot of it, I'm sorry to say, panders to this whole Western, this thing of what India is, There is a lot of poverty porn. I don't hold back, so you'll have to pardon me in telling it as brutally as I.
No, I'm glad. I'm glad there's somebody like you who's doing that. Otherwise, it's always just sugar-coated. Everything is sugar-coated otherwise. So I feel like we need more people like you just to say it how it is and do things on their own. it's people like you who will start a movement. It's people like you. Other people will look up to you and say, look, she's produced her own film. Why can't I do it for any other female? You know, so I feel like you bring that confidence out in women in India for them to take it forward. You started it, and now other girls, other women will now take this forward.
And there are many wonderful men also out there, just who are, you know, they are wonderful men who are not even aware of how privileged they are in their being men in this industry, you know. Even my own partner, who's a fantastic guy. I mean, I've always seen Ram, and Ram features heavily on the film. You know, he went through a whole process during the making of the film where he realized that, okay, I might try to do the right thing, but I just don't know what it is to be in your shoes. You know, it's just a whole different ball game. And when I know I'm talking to the UK, so there, you know, possibly people know me by my Bollywood songs, because nowadays, and I put out a lot of albums too, but the reach for film music is much easier. So, you know, the year Ambar Sariya came out, and I know I'm talking to Sunrise Radio, it was the same year that Arijit was born as a male playback singer, and his song was Tum Hi Ho, released exactly at the same time as Ambar Sariya. But I just need to put this out there. Ambar Sariya was a huge hit, got a lot of love. And the same year as Tum Hi Ho, where Arijit went on to sing at least 800 more songs. And I give full credit to how amazing Arijit is as an artist. I'm not even making a comparison. But if you look at the parallel journey where I have an Ambar Sariya, which is a huge hit, you'd think the film industry would run and give me at least 5 more songs, not 800, 5 more songs. It took me 5 years to sing Naina, which is my next song in Bollywood. 5 years. And of course, I have kept myself vital by putting out a lot of independent music. I play huge concerts to over hundreds of thousands of people. So I've built a rapport with my audience because I'm hustling every day. But I have to hustle extra hard. My question was, what is it with the industry that didn't find even 5 songs for me? And I, you know, for a long time felt maybe it's something to do with me. I'm in Hindi, you call a person like me bebak. I speak my mind. I have a lot of opinions. I don't want to play the hierarchical caste game where, you know, I'm sucking up to you, or I'm just acting pretty, because that's the kind of thing a woman is expected to do. But you know what? I figured the numbers tell me a different story. It actually was nothing to do with me or my personality. In our industry, out of 100 songs created in the mainstream, just 7 or 8 of them have a female voice. So
why is that? Why is it like that?
It's become, you know, there was a time that in the Hindi film industry was run by a lot of literate people, you know, the producers, you know, we had directors like Bimal Roy, Goldie Anand, who did Guide, you know, we've had we had the progressive writers who played a very important role. They had a need to make India a better place. There was a social cause, and that's where the industry started from. But in the last couple of decades, it's come down to businessmen running the industry. So it's not the creative folk who are in charge anymore. So they don't really care about how the numbers are stacking up. Why is it that there's no female song in a whole soundtrack? If at all there is one, it'll be an item song or just a reprise version, which is never publicized. Or it's a chorus section of a romantic duet. I must tell you, there's this big Shah Rukh Khan film I was called for, and I've been called for many songs where I go into the recording, big music directors, and Sona, we have this perfect thing for your voice. And I hear the song and I realize it's a romantic duet. And you have the male voice singing the beginning, then the first antara and the second verse. And by the time the female gets her chance, it's in the fag end of the song, or it's just the chorus. And for me, I'm like, is the man making love to himself? Is this a romantic duet? Why is it all about the self-love of, you know? So I have walked out of such recordings saying, I should have an equal number of lines in a romance.
100%,
you know?
And
100%. The fact that you don't have female solo songs is one thing, but that in a romantic song also the female just features as a decorative piece is, you know, you have the heroes calling the shots, and they want all the songs to be like filmed on them, because music makes our film stars larger than life. Music plays a very important role, unlike the West, in
Yeah,
our
absolutely.
film narratives.
Yeah.
So they tend to call the shots. They make it all about themselves, and so it's like a cycle. And this is a country which couldn't put out a soundtrack without a Lata Mangeshkar or a Asha Bhosle. We did revere our female artists, but it's been very, very different in the last decade and a half. We had, I think, the last big superstars that we created when it comes to female musicians is Sunidhi Chauhan and Shreya Ghoshal.
Correct.
After
correct.
that, even you hardly hear them sing,
Yeah.
because there are hardly 8 or 9 songs in the mainstream. And it's divided by so many talented artists. So I can't be complaining about why I don't get enough chances. And I said, okay, to hell with all of this. I'm more capable than most other, however immodest it might sound. I'll make my own film. And that's how Shut Up Sona came about, because it is a musical, while it also captures the 3 years that we shot the film for. I'm traveling with my band, going all around my concerts, but I'm also getting death threats. I'm also getting a religious community go after me for wearing a sleeveless outfit and singing.
Does this bother you that people are just constantly judging you all the time?
I'm so used to it. Now it's a strange thing to say that I would probably find it odd if things were going smooth for a while. And I feel, and I really think no change comes about unless you have this friction. So right now they're in very interesting times where there's a lot of friction. We are at a flashpoint when it comes to a lot of matters. And I think change is coming our way, because I'm seeing a dramatic shift in the attitudes of people in India, especially when I go to the tier 2 towns, where we say not the 4 big metros. That's where the real India is. And the youth shows up for my concerts in huge numbers. They watch out for everything I'm talking about, even the boys, how I dress up, the fact that I don't, beat body positivity, beat talking about sexism, beat talking about. So some of my biggest songs have been outside of film. I have a song called Mujhe Kya Bechega Rupaiya, which is like a challenge and a clarion call for, women don't need to be like, and it's my biggest hit. Within the first few months, there were like hundreds of millions of views on that song, which wasn't even promoted. It didn't get the usual push. It was on the show called Satyamev Jayate, just a one-time play out. I think the country is responding. It's just that
do you feel it's a little
like me end up being branded as a troublemaker too. So I'm living with that. Yeah.
Do you feel that the response of the country is a little bit too slow? And do you feel that maybe in the next, I don't know, year or so, things will be a little bit more different thanks to people like you?
Sorry, I didn't hear you.
Do you feel that the country's response is a little bit too slow in terms of it moving forward? And over the next year or so, do you feel like things might just get a little bit better?
Something, I don't think so. I think for the gigantic size and the crazy, like India lives in almost 3 centuries. You have this extremely, you have this side of India which is at par with the rest of the world in terms of technology, in terms of everything, even in terms of the riches and whatever else. You also have an India which is living a very much more simpler life, and not all of it is bad, And you have India which is living in the medieval times in terms of its attitudes. So India, in terms of size, length and breadth, is and in terms of diversity, is much more complex than even the European Union. It has 26 languages. The food changes every few miles.
Exactly.
The racial features, you have so many races. So it's such a crazy, complex country. For it to move overnight, so I think there are segments that are moving very fast, and I see the benefits and the love for it, which is why I exist despite Bombay. And where you'd think Bombay, our industry should be much more open-minded, where they are exposed to the rest of the world, but they're not. They're possibly living in another era, because
Yeah.
the misogyny in our industry is institutionalized. I can't blame anybody in particular. It's a systemic issue. It's a systemic issue there, and it's deeply entrenched, the patriarchal structure, and all of it being a boys' club. And if Bollywood is a boys' club, the music industry is even much more so.
Much
A
more,
much
yeah.
bigger boys' club. Yeah, very tight-knit boys' club. So, but the audience, I won't park them in the same, I won't paint them with the same brush. I think, I will just give you an anecdote, if I may. I had gone for a concert to one of these smaller places. People in Bombay will in fact turn down their noses to, oh my God, you went to Reva. And that place had a turnout of more than, I think 200,000 people showed up for my concert. So a lot of love and a lot of excitement. So after the gig, I was sitting at the coffee shop and having a cup of tea. And this waiter, young 23-year-old man, comes up to me, asking me for a cup of coffee, and then starts chatting with me. Now, that might be very common in the UK or in Europe or in the West, where waiters chat up with you. In India, that doesn't happen.
It's not.
Because India, they're like, oh, this woman is some superstar here, and all these photographers and the collectors come to see her, the police commissioner is here. So, but the fact that he came up to me and he was chatting with me about my fashion choices. He tells me, ma'am, he called me ma'am with respect, of course, but his thing was, ma'am, you wear a sari so differently from all the other celebrities. I love it that you wear it with a collared shirt, you wear a belt. Sometimes you wear boots. I wear combat boots with my saris. I was like, where did you see this? Did you watch me on Saregamapa? I was a reality TV show judge. And they were so backward in their idea of what India is. They didn't allow me to wear a sari. They thought I should only, a woman is there to wear tight-fitted or, just appeal to the, in a sense, be the seductress on the set. Look pretty.
Just be that glam doll and just stay there and just
they didn't want, and they didn't know.
Anything.
And I felt this guy talking to me about my saris, and he says, no, I've been watching you on Facebook. And the next thing he told me was the best gift I've received in the longest time. He tells me that, ma'am, I've told my sister, she's my younger sister, I've told her, यहाँ पे ना साड़ी ब्लाउज वाउज के साथ जैसे सब पहनते हैं आंटी लोग ऐसे ना पहना कर, means don't wear a sari like the aunties around, wear it like Sona Mahapatra, because not only does it make you look so cool, it's also comfortable because your stomach is not showing and you can be free and jump around. And he went on to describe the benefits of wearing a sari like me, right? And how he's advising his sister. So he's giving the sartorial advice to his sister. My band was watching these young boys that I roam around with their jaws, like because it is unheard of that somebody is having this chit chat with the star of that space and about fashion. And that just gave me an indication that India is changing so quickly.
So quick.
There's so much of good also happening in terms of the empowerment of the, masses. We don't hear of that often enough because those stories don't make for the stories that go out to the rest of the world. So I experienced that, and I feel I feel blessed that I'm in a place that I can influence that change.
Of course,
I get to go on stage. I get to be the woman I am. I speak my mind about everything. I poke fun on even myself. It's not that, I see myself as perfect, but my shows go on, my performances go on for 3 hours, and the crowd only gets bigger. So I just feel the fact that Bollywood didn't reward me as well as I believe they should have doesn't mean anything, because my country is giving me a lot of love. So the industry structure is extremely lopsided and patriarchal, and has very little space for not only me but even female artists. That's the sad truth. But that's not an indication of where the rest of the country is. And
but yet, I feel like with you, like you've got this problem of being a female artist, but you've actually gone and done something about it, because I feel not a lot of people do. Sometimes I feel like people just kind of stop and they give up. But you have gone out there, you've carried on with your gigs, you've made a market for yourself, regardless, even if Bollywood didn't give you that, you've gone and done it, and now look at you. You're just doing such amazing things, and you've given us this amazing film to watch. That I can't wait for.
Thank you so much.
I'm super
Thank you so
excited
much.
about
There's a
it.
lot of music in the film, and I'm also putting out a lot of music regularly. And I'm hoping
Yeah.
the UK audience that I believe is actually tuned into good sounds.
Yeah,
Because
of course
for
we
me,
are. Of course
a
we are.
lot of what I notice is production values do matter, stagecraft does matter. And India
Yeah.
has in the past not paid that much attention to it, but there are a bunch of artists like me who, I mean, I would like to compete with the world's best in terms of
Yeah.
delivering a performance, you know.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm hoping once this pandemic is over, I actually come and perform in the UK.
Please do.
Yeah.
Please
Few
do.
years ago, I performed. Hello? Hello?
Yes,
Can
you're
you hear
back.
me?
You're back. Yeah, yeah.
I said few years ago, I performed with the BBC Philharmonic, which was.
I remember this. I remember
that's
this.
quite some time ago.
Yeah.
But I think it's time that I come with my band and perform my music now.
Please do that. I would love to come and see you perform live. I still play a lot of your songs on my show, which is so lovely. I think Ambar Sariya has to be hands down my favorite song of yours. I do love it.
But I have lots more of songs, and anybody listening in should go and search it out in Spotify, because now they have a playlist of more than 189 songs. And yeah, the film songs are always the easiest to reach out. So my film songs also have been very privileged that they're in genres that, in a sense, were made for me. The songs couldn't have been sung by anybody else, no matter how immodest I sound. So there's Jia Lagena in Talash. There's
that's
Naina,
beautiful. Very beautiful.
In Khoobsurat.
Yeah.
And, I've sung this duet with Shreya Ghoshal called Bahara, which people seem to like a lot.
Yeah,
but
that's really
during
nice
the pandemic, I put out a lot of music, 9 releases, and I'm very proud of with the kind of music that is in Shut Up Sona also, I think anybody who is an Indophile and wants to know more about their roots, because from Amir Khusro's, there is a Coke Studio India where, while the Pakistan edition has been one that has really lasted, and I love the music there. Some of my songs in Coke Studio India, the few I put out, again, women need to blow their own trumpets because nobody else is doing it for them.
I love
my
that.
songs on Coke Studio India
I completely agree with you.
biggest numbers. So my Piya Se Naina, which is Amir Khusro Kalam, or Rangabati, they are the biggest songs on the Coke Studio India edition. So anybody is a music lover, do check out my Coke Studio material. It's all there online, so people.
It's easy. It's easy. Yeah,
it's very easy to do so.
And Sona, before I let you go, because we're fast running out of time at the moment, can I get you to sing a few lines of any of your songs, because your voice is just so amazing?
Thank you so much. What should I sing? You tell me.
Anything, maybe a mashup of your songs, if you can do that.
I've never done that, but let me give it a shot.
Yeah.
Can you hear me clearly? This is a bad way to sing, though.
I can hear you nice and clear.
जो रोग है मोहे समझ ना आए पास है जो सब छोड़ के दूर को पास बुलाए जिया लागे ना तुम बिन मोरा जिया लागे ना तुम बिन मोरा जिया लागे ना तुम बिन मोरा नैना नू पता है नैना दिखता है सानू किस गल दी फिर मिलदी सजा है नींद उड़ जावे चैन छड़ जावे इश्क दी फकीरी जद लग जावे एन मन करता है ठग ठोरिया ए मन करता है सीना चोरिया एन सिख लिया दिल दिया चोरिया है मन दिया ने कमजोरिया मैं तो पिया से नैना लड़ाई रे मैं तो पिया से नैना लड़ाई रे, गली में मारे फेरे पास आने को मेरे, कभी परखता नैन मेरे तू, कभी परखता तोर अंबर सरिया, मुंडे आवे कचिया कलिया ना तोड़, तेरी माँ ने बोले है मुझे तीखे से बोल अंबर सरिया.
Wow, that was fantastic. Excellent, Sona.
Bad fold back, and
But
these
too
are the
good.
strange things. We are so fussy when we go on stage. You keep doing a sound check for 2 hours.
Yeah, I'm
And
sure.
now I have
I'm
one
sure.
headphone in, one out. I don't know if I'm pitching right, but I'm singing for sure.
Oh, Sona, that was amazing. Thank you so much. You're awesome. I'm so glad I
Thank you
got
so
to
much.
speak to you this morning. Thanks so much. Good luck with everything, and I can't wait to watch Shut Up, Sona. Awesome. Thank you.
Thank
Take
you.
care.
Lovely speaking to you.
Bye. Bye. Bye.